Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers Titans Return video. Thanks to Ben over at Toy Ben 2. Today I'm taking a look at Skullsmasher, aka Skull Cruncher. This is of course the Headmaster, firstly seen in the Transformers Rebirth, and he does of course come with his little head companion, the little Nebulone Grax. I do love how detailed these little guys are. There's a lot of detailing there for such a small figure. Now, I've actually had a little bit of problems with this guy. His head kind of got stuck in there and I couldn't get it out. I had to take his chest off to pull him out. It's on a ball joint, you see. Yeah, so it's nicely mounted. You get a lovely range on these figures. But the head kind of popped off the ball and was just kind of stuck in there, which was not ideal at all. The arms on Grax are ball jointed, and if you give them a little tug, you can just pop those off. I wonder if we'll get replacement arms with an elbow bend from a third party. It's a very small accessory there. I think that's a little bit unnecessary, I guess. And the legs are pinned together, but they do bend at 2 points to allow for a very good seated position. The head mode itself, very easy to transform into. Literally bend over and tab in. And the head itself is a very nice sculpt. In fact, all of the Headmaster sculpts, the heads are pretty nice, except Blur. Don't like Blur. Wrong colour, wrong shape, wrong voice. No. This, on the other hand, is everything right with the Hasbro sculpt. Now, apparently, to have both heads facing the same way. Apparently, so let's see if that's where I was going. Right, okay, well I got it in. I may not be able to get it back out again, but it is definitely in for now, that's sure. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? I personally feel this is a very Marmite line. That's a British saying for some love it, some hate it. I know that Maz has just voiced his opinions on it. He just can't quite get to grips with the line. It's just something about it. He just doesn't have that passion for it. I think personally, this line could divide the fandom slightly. I personally love it. It's very reminiscent for me. It really brings back those memories of the Rebirth. It's kind of when I started watching Transformers, because I was born in '84. So, by a lot of the geek standards, I am a mere pup, and by some of my viewers, I'm ancient. But yes, I started watching at the Rebirth, so I started off with the Headmasters, and I had like mind wipes, saying back away, light speed, back away, that sort of thing. And you know, that's where I started my journey. And I remember Skull Crunch and Mind Wipe, and then we had like Ape Face, and they were awesome. They were new. They were like, oh my goodness, look at those! What are they? It's a giant crocodile. And then we get the Titans Return, where, in all fairness, they've kind of made everybody a Headmaster, which is a bit like Blur. Could have just have been a Target Master. We'd have been really happy with that. But then they wouldn't have been able to reuse the mold, would they? And with the likes of Power Master, Optimus Prime, why not just make a Power Master? You know, I think Takara's one may have an engine block. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I need to go and have a look, but I think it does. Anyway, I'm really digressing here, aren't I? This is Skullsmasher. He is going to smash your head in. I love how we can have Skullsmasher now, but back in the day, I couldn't have Ninja Turtles because ninjas were considered far too violent. He does, of course, come with his blaster, which are very retro looking indeed. They've gone for a very classic look for these, hollowed out. But then again, that's what we have with the G1 toys. And he does, of course, have his big crocodile tail, which can be double mounted. You can mount it underneath, or it does have a handle on top to be flipped around and can be mounted in his hand like so and look ridiculous. Hasbro also decided to articulate their figures this time round as well. Even though he has a little Headmaster port there, the head can look left and right. Shoulders very tight, mind, but then go up and they can rotate fully. There's also a upper bicep rotation, and there is a bend at the elbow, along with a rotation at the forearm and a bend in and out on the wrist. The waist does rotate quite nicely. The legs can come this far forwards, this far outwards. We have an upper thigh swivel, very loose upper thigh swivel on my particular one. Not sure if that's common throughout the mould. And we do have a very nice deep double jointed knee because of the transformation. Don't like the screw holes being clearly visible in his robot mode. I think maybe that would have been better to have those visible in his alt mode, but beggars cannot be choosers. He does look rather grand nonetheless. Size-wise, these guys are a pretty good size deluxe, and they definitely have the build quality of the Voyager figures that we've had in the past, such as Springer. Now, the transformation is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much what you would expect. It's a matter of just bending things over and tabbing them in. It's not overly complicated, but it still should be enjoyable enough for children. And if they struggle, the parents should easily be able to figure it out. It's just a matter of tabbing things neatly in together, bending the feet down, and then with the shoulders they need to come up, and as you bring the shoulders up they're going to turn inwards and tab, and again with this side upwards, inwards and tab, and that now allows us to bring the crocodile alligator head over, and there's a tab here and a tab here. That's going to come over the shoulder sections, and that's going to just tab in to those like so, and then we can rotate the head around, and then you can just angle the hands backwards and bend these little elbows accordingly. The arms are in the wrong way, look. There we go there, and tuck the hand in and rotate the foot. There we go, we got there in the end. There we have his front legs. His back legs are there as well, and then we can just come in and attach the tail. The tail section will just literally tab in on that section here, bring this section down, so we now have a little bit of rotation on there as well. We can reverse the transformation on our pilot Grax, rotate his head around, arm up and arm up. Now we are meant to be able to store Grax in this section here, and mine is a job to get in there. There we go, there's a little cubby hole in there, and Grax is meant to be able to just go down there and sit in and ride. I mean, that looks pretty good. That's a fantastic head sculpt there. I love that. Really, really nice. It's a fun transformation. It reminds me very much of like the Beast Wars stuff, but as far as old modes go, I mean, look at this range on the head. That is fantastic. The jaw does open pretty wide. I can already picture there being repaints of this as the Optimus Prime. Nice Decepticon logo on here. The paint applications are all very, very smooth, especially this nice silver section along the side again with the Decepticon logo. These hand sections do tend to fall off. They're on very kind of spongy plastic, as they will pop off willy-nilly. We have ball joints on the back here, although mine do have some sprue marks on that, so even Hasbro get it wrong sometimes. There's no joints there on the knees, although it does look like there should be. Nothing moves there. It would be nice if it did, just to give him a little bit more height at the back of the legs. And we do have motion on that tail, although it does tend to keep popping off. Faults aside, I do like this though. He does look rather grand. Now, I don't know if it's me, but the only way I've been able to get him to have all four of his hands, claw paw things on the floor is to have him laying down like this, but he does look like a panting dog there. You expect him to have his tail wagging, waiting for you to throw him a bone. Fetch. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I really like what Hasbro are offering us with this Titans Returns series. The figures are not perfect by any means, but They are very accessible to both children and adults, and I think that's great. Joining the generations in a love for Transformers. Hasbro, you cannot go wrong. Thanks again to Ben for the hookup on these, and if you found this video useful, give it a big like and share it amongst your friends and family. And until next time, from myself and Skullsmasher, and of course Grax, thanks for watching. Goodbye. Oh, he does have a nice handy throat laser.